We're going to give folks a few minutes to get settled as participants enter the room, but we'll thank you for all joining us for our Cheez-It Bowl press conference. We've got our head coaches with us today. We'll start first with Coach Matt Campbell, Iowa State, followed by Dabo Swinney of Clemson. This year's game, the Cheez-It Bowl, will be on Wednesday, December 29th, kickoff at 5:45 p.m. We will send out credential information, hotel information, all that stuff soon. I've already seen a few emails start trickling in on that front, and we'll make sure you guys have all the details you need. We will make sure to also get an itinerary out as soon as we can, so you can kind of start making your plans. But just for tentative purposes, the media events, the formal events won't start till the other side of Christmas, so we don't have anything planned for pre-Christmas on that front. Without further ado, I just wanted to bring up Coach Matt Campbell. And Coach, appreciate you joining us. It's excellent to have you back after being here a couple of years ago with the team, and look forward to another trip down to Orlando.
Yeah, well, I will just say on behalf of Iowa State athletics and certainly Iowa State football and Iowa State University, we are beyond grateful to be selected to be back in this football game. The opportunity to come back to Orlando, the first class treatment of our football program, and certainly our fans and our players was second to none. And so we're honored to be able to represent certainly Iowa State football and certainly play against a football team and a program that we have the utmost respect for. Coach Swinney, one of the best coaches in college football and one of the most first-class programs in college football. And it's an honor to be able to play against them and compete against them. So, with that said, I'll certainly answer any questions you guys may have.
All right, Coach, if you have a question, we will ask you to raise your hand. Our first question will come from Randy. Randy, you can go ahead and ask whenever you're ready.
I think I'm unmuted. Matt, what does playing a team like Clemson, two-time national champion, been there the last 6 years, mean for Iowa State and its program?
Yeah, Randy, I think one of the things that you're I think beyond grateful for when you have to reflect on, our program and where we have continued to work to grow to, is to be able to play opponents and first-class programs like this, to see where you're at, to continue to build your program the right way and play against people that have built it the right way. So I think it means a ton for our program and our university to compete against somebody like Coach Swinney and certainly his program.
Matt, I've got one more while I'm
sure.
Lucky enough to be here. Back 5 years ago, whenever it was, when you recruited the 3 or 4 players that are going to play in their fifth bowl game, what did you ask them or tell them in terms of what you wanted, in terms of their loyalty over the years?
Yeah, I think the thing that loyalty is a two-way street in our sport, and I think Randy, you know that as well as anybody. And, I think the only thing that I've ever asked of our kids is to have great trust and faith in myself and our coaches, and for them to have the ability to come in every day and work really hard to become the best version of themselves that they can be. And, from the day they got here till the day they left here. And I would say one of the great things that this group has done is they've been able to do that, and they've been able to persevere through hard, and have showed up every day with a sense of purpose to get better one day at a time.
In a world of happy feet from coaches, what's it show that you've been able to reciprocate with them so far on your end?
Yeah, I think, Randy, and I think there's been a lot of things said. And I think when you go back to, my belief system, it's really been your actions speak louder than your words. And, I think even from my end, for the last 6 years, I've said and followed through with the same actions. I've answered the question of everybody wanting to say or speculate other things, but my sole purpose has been in my job to focus, number one, on our football players, number two, our staff, number three, our fan base, and number four, the future of our program. And whether it's been the last week or every day in the last 6 years, I've woken up with a passion and action to lead our program the right way. And so, I really think it just comes back to your actions speak louder than your words. And, I think that we're in a time and a place where a lot of people say a lot of things, but I think your actions are what are indicative of who you are and what you're about.
Coach, our next question will come from Matt. Michelle, I see a couple comments in the chat. We've got, unfortunately, Coach Campbell's video won't be available for this press conference. We're having some technical difficulties with the device, but we will continue audio only. And Matt, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Matt, I wanted to ask, what sort of familiarity do you have with Dabo? Do you have any sort of relationship with him? And what were your kind of impressions of what he's been able to do with a program like Clemson?
Yeah, I think for me, Coach Swinney has been a great resource for me. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to go down to Clemson. And, I think probably for a young coach that I am, I think you're always searching for people in our profession that are doing it the right way and they're leading from the heart. And I think for me, it was a transformational experience for myself because of what I saw when I got to Clemson, how I think the kindness and the care and the love and the passion that Coach led with and continues to lead with. And I think that was a huge eye-opening experience of, man, you can lead a football program the right way. And so I would just say for me, he's been from afar a great mentor, and certainly the time that he's given to me throughout my own career, I've been greatly appreciative of.
All right, Coach, our next question will come from Travis Hines, the Ames Tribune. Travis, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Hi, Matt. How are you? Sorry. I just wanted to piggyback on your last answer to Randy with Jamie talking on the radio show on Monday, talking about you, that if there was a job that was the right fit for the right reasons, that might be something you would pursue. You're obviously still the coach at Iowa State. So I was hoping you could just explain why Iowa State remains the best fit for you.
Well, I would say for me, building a program has always been my dream. And whether it was at the collegiate level or whether it was at the high school level, to me, that doesn't matter. It's always been about people. For me, it's always been, I think, about the priorities of, number one, my own family. Number two, I think the people that I get to work with and for. And then number three, the purpose of making a difference in the lives of young people. And so those are my goals and aspirations. And, I know a lot of people like to put words in my mouth or assume that they know who I am or what I'm thinking. But I think the people that are really closest to me understand my value system and really what's important to me.
If we have any other questions, you can use the raise hand function.
What have your discussions been like with the seniors, and I guess even maybe jump into
Travis, I think that was you, and I think you maybe got cut off just a hair.
Yep, sorry. The seniors and maybe the guys that are looking at being draft eligible about playing this game or sitting out, as we've seen, players do across the country.
Yeah, I think those are all like really good discussions that we'll continue to have. Believe me, the early part of this past week was really kind of to get our own house in order and, evaluate where our seniors were going, what they were doing, and what their plans were. I think the really great positive thing from my end, almost to a person is, no matter what the future holds for them, I think everybody wants to figure this thing out and put a great end to what has been a really great season for our kids. So, my expectation is if there is anybody that chooses not to play, we'll probably find that out here in the next 5 or 6 days. But I would say the bulk or majority of our team will be prepared to go to this bowl game and play.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt Michelle from the Orlando Sentinel. Do you have another question?
Yeah, I was going to ask Matt, how challenging is it with the early signing period with bowl games and where they're set up to kind of go out there and not only recruit what you need to recruit, but also then be able to prepare your team for a bowl game like this?
Yeah, I think it is. It certainly, continues as things continue to speed up around us. That those are unique challenges, but those are good challenges. And, I think when you're in a program like ours, where we've been really fortunate to have great continuity, you have built your program the right way. I think you're built to handle the uniqueness of this time of year, whether it is the recruiting process or, whether it's, helping guide your seniors and juniors to the best decisions for their futures, to the preparation of a tremendous bowl opponent. So, I think those are all really great problems to have, and certainly really good challenges. And we're certainly fortunate to be able to have those unique challenges and opportunities.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Got time for a couple more. We'll take one from Rob Gray. Rob, you can go ahead and when you're ready.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Rob.
Quick question. You've talked about the 2019 season a lot, is learning a lot of lessons from that season. And here you are going to the same bowl as that, facing a storied opponent again. I wonder, what are the similarities and differences with your team as you approach this particular bowl in Orlando 2 years later?
Sure. I think the biggest thing from an Iowa State standpoint is really where we are from a cultural standpoint. I would say we're culturally stronger than we've ever been. And that part is certainly reassuring and exciting. I think the similarities of playing a phenomenal program in an elite position and being able to, measure first class with what you want to build a program like us. We want to try to build a program first class like Coach Swinney's done at Clemson. Those are just great opportunities, and those are great opportunities to continue to evaluate and continue to learn and continue to grow about who you are and what you want to become. So I think a lot of similarities and probably some differences, and more of the differences are inside our own walls, where we are in this year in 2021 than where we were in 19.
Gotcha. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take one more from Matt Michelle. Matt, go ahead when you're ready.
Matt, when you're obviously coming down here to Orlando, what kind of opportunities for your players does it to maybe have to come here, and especially without COVID going on as it was last year, to maybe have a little bit of fun, to relax, but also focus on this game as well?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could go to a better place in the country than Orlando, Florida, to be able to, I guess, give your players a reward of what they've sacrificed and certainly what they've done. And obviously, I think anytime you go to a bowl game, it's a balancing act of, the enjoyment and these bowl experiences give you, and, focus and preparation to be able to play a finality to your season at the best of your potential. And so, I think that's one thing that we're really fortunate to be able to be in an unbelievable place. Again, being there 2 years ago, just the experience of Universal and all the are going on around it. It's certainly a tremendous opportunity for Iowa State football to be involved with this great bowl.
Well, thank you, Coach Campbell. And it looks like Coach Swinney's joined us just in time to get started on the second half of this press conference. But Coach, we appreciate it. We look forward to having you and your team down here in Orlando in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thanks so much.
And with that, we will move on to Coach Dabo Swinney, who's joining us from the I think the Tunnel at Allegiant Stadium is what I hear. He's out there checking out the Raiders game. A good coach friend of his, who you all probably know well. And Coach, thank you for making some time.
Okay, yeah, and I apologize, but yeah, I'm in a tunnel, so I hope you can hear me. But out here at the Raiders game and here for the College Football Hall of Fame with C.J. Spiller. But let me just say, super excited to be a part of the Cheez-It Bowl. Orlando is an incredible destination and experience, and having been a part of bowl experiences down there in the past, it's just a place that I know our guys will certainly enjoy, and then have the opportunity to compete against a great and well-coached Iowa State team. Certainly going to be a huge challenge there, and I think a great matchup. Man, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Campbell. Had a chance to meet him. They actually came down here to Clemson. I had him speak at our clinic and had a chance to visit with him on a personal level, and have just kind of collaborated a little bit over the years. But man, what an unbelievable job he has done at Iowa State. So going to be a great matchup, and again, something we're really looking forward to, and just honored to be chosen to be a part of it. A great opportunity for our team to continue to build momentum into next year, continue to improve, and hopefully finish our season in a very positive way. So with that, I'll take your questions.
All right, we've got time for a few questions. We'll start with Matt Michelle, the Orlando Sentinel. If I can ask, we've still got a few hands up from the last session. So if I could ask everybody else to just lower your hands and then start raising them again if you're planning for this one. But we'll start with Matt. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Dabo, good to see you. I wanted to ask, you talked about your relationship with Matt. What, you said he kind of reached out to you and you kind of got a chance to kind of see your program and work. What stood out to you about the job that Matt has done, and what kind of makes him kind of one of those young elite coaches who's out there right now?
Yeah, well, the first time I met him, we were actually crossing paths at an airport. I don't know if he remembers that, but I do. And, just was immediately kind of, struck with his authenticity, who he is. And I've admired what he's done, at a place where it's not easy to go do what he's done. He's built an incredible culture there. So, we just kind of swapped numbers, and then again, they came out to Clemson, and, and really from that time on, we just, from time to time have talked and swapped text messages and things like that. So just an incredibly bright coach, a guy that I think really loves the player and is very serious about certainly winning, but winning in a way that really, builds great men through the process.
Thanks, Dabo.
Up next, we'll take a question from Trevor Grove, CU Tigers. Trevor, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Just want to say I'll see you on Tuesday out there in Vegas. But hope you're enjoying the Raiders game.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you can comment on the Brent Venables situation and what's going on with him and how it relates to what his status will be for the bowl game if he does leave.
Yeah, well, I certainly appreciate your question, Trevor, and but definitely not something we're going to talk about right now. This is about our team. It's about this opportunity and this matchup, and all those type of things. If there's something to be talked about there, we'll discuss that at the appropriate time.
Okay, then I appreciate that, Coach. And if I could just you haven't had to deal with the potentiality of opt-outs over the last 6 years, having been in the playoffs, but obviously that's something prevalent and something on the minds of the players with these lower tier bowls. Is that something that you anticipate having to discuss with some of your players?
Man, well, first of all, this is a great bowl. This is not a lower tier bowl. I think this is a great bowl, and it's a great opportunity and a great experience for us as coaches and our staff and a group of great student athletes. So, I look at it as a real honor to be a part of it. So, we're excited about that. But as far as, all that other stuff, man, I hope everybody's there, but whoever we got, we're going to get ready and we're going to be excited to go play.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Up next, we'll take a question from Gene Sapkoff, Charleston Post and Courier. Gene, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Dabo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit on your relationship with Matt Campbell and what it was like when he came to visit Clemson?
Yeah, just as I said earlier, the first time I met him was we were passing in the airport and kind of swapped numbers there and then just communicated a few times, and then I got him to come in to Clemson. He actually spoke at our clinic one year, and our defensive staff has gone and met with him as well, and then he and I just said, like I said, just talked and collaborated, swapped texts several times over the last few years. But just a guy I got a lot of respect for and admired what he's done. There at Iowa State, it's been incredible for sure.
Coach, we'll take our next question from Matt Connolly on 3. Matt, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Hey, Dabo, there were reports that you might be interested in the Oklahoma job. I was just wondering if you could say if you had any contact with Oklahoma.
No, I have had no contact with Oklahoma from my standpoint. Not talk to Oklahoma, but not for me. So.
All right, we'll take another one from Gene Sapkoff. Gene, you can go when you're ready.
I'm good. I already asked my question.
Okay, no problem. We saw your hand still up. Trevor, if you had one more, we can put one more in. Trevor, go ahead.
Coach, I guess just how much opportunity? I don't guess you had much opportunity to see Iowa State play this season, but just your overall impression of them, not only this season, but what Coach Campbell has been able to build there over the last couple of years.
Yeah, just seen them here or there along the way. All I know is they're a tough out, simple as that. I mean, they've been an incredibly consistent program, can beat anybody. And so that they're incredibly well coached and passionate about what they're doing. And you see that when you watch them play. Now that we know who we're playing, obviously throughout the course of this next week, we'll start, diving in and, taking a closer look exactly, who they are personnel wise, et cetera. But all I know is you're going to play a team that's won a bunch of games in the last several years, big games, and we'll be very well prepared.
And you've been so banged up all season long with the injuries, kind of historic from that regard. How much will it mean to you just to have a few weeks to get healthy and prepare kind of like a whole new season? Yeah,
I'm glad our guys got some time off this week for sure, and it's been good for them. I mean, obviously last 7 years or 6, we've been practicing this week, so the break's been good for them. We'll start a couple of workouts this week, and then we'll have a staff day next Sunday, and then we'll start practice. But hopefully we'll get a little bit of work. They'll get some work on their own this week from a film study, et cetera, as we dive in as a staff. But definitely, very hopeful that we can be as healthy as we've been, maybe all season by the time we get to the bowl game. So we'll see, but certainly hopeful.
Thanks, Coach. I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, we've got time for one or two more questions before we let Coach get back to the game. The next one will be from Anna Hickey at 24/7. Anna, you can go ahead when you're ready.
She's unmuted.
Can't hear you. All right. Anna, if you're not there, or if you are. All right, we'll take one more. We'll take one from Randy Peterson. Randy, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Can you hear me? Are you there? Or am I here?
Gotcha.
Okay. Given what's happening in college football the last couple of weeks, the money that's going around out there, is college football in a good place right now?
No, college football is not in a good place, for a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of change going on, and I think some unintended consequences with that. But at the end of the day, we'll figure it all out as we move forward for sure. But there's a lot of things in college football right now that I think we'll look back 4 or 5 years from now, and hopefully things will settle down a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, with that, we'll let you get back to the game. We appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule. I know you were squeezing this in for us, so thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you down in Orlando in a few weeks.
Okay, I really appreciate y'all having us. We're super excited, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Enjoy the game. And with that, we're wrapping up here. We've got our Verbo Citrus Bowl press conference starting here in a second on the other line. I apologize again for the technical difficulties at the start of this one with Coach Campbell's video, but we'll have our folks for the Verbo Citrus Bowl who are joining us over there. We'll start there in a few minutes, and you'll all get the media credential link went out already with the release. If you haven't seen it already, we'll make sure you get it to you, or it's up at either bowl site. So cheezitbowl.com/media has the information. We'll also include hotel, all that itinerary stuff, and we'll make sure everybody's up to speed as quickly as we can be on what we've got coming up. But again, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you down here in Orlando hopefully soon. Thank you.